right now. Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Las Vegas. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Randy Buehler. We are entering the culmination as what has been the biggest tournament weekend in Magic history
smile
here.
From Lucas Duchow.
Lucas Duchow is one of our finalists.
We are making Magic history. I haven't seen that one.
He's one of our finalists, Lucas Duchow. He's from Wisconsin. He shares that in common with his opponent, Aaron Lewis.
Indeed.
You get to take a look at him. Oh, looks like he got a little kiss on the cheek there for good luck, too.
Yeah, that is his girlfriend's lipstick.
Very nice. So here's Aaron Lewis. Now, Aaron really dominated the Swiss portion of this tournament.
13-0.
He went 13-0 to start things off. He did pick up a loss and got paired down.
Yeah.
Managed to pick up the win to make the top 8, and now he is in the finals.
Yeah, his deck is pretty interesting. It's blue-white good stuff. He just kept taking arrests and air servants and awesome blue and white cards. The artifacts were a little thin around him in the first pack. So I know when we were watching the draft through the eyes of Ben Stark and then Pascal Maynard, we just saw all these artifact cards, affinity cards, dispatches. There was clearly no affinity player. Nobody wanted the Metalcraft stuff. But blue-white was wide open. I mean, it was only the artifact part that was wide open because Aaron, by that point, had so many non-artifacts that he was just blue-white good stuff.
Aaron Lewis had to get through Ben Stark in the quarters to reach this point as well. So no small feat there for Aaron, but he's been playing great all weekend. And Lucas Duchow, you might remember him from the Magic Online Championship. Now, he had a pretty rough go there.
He did.
He did not finish well. And I don't think he was very happy about it, though it's hard to tell. He's kind of a stoic demeanor on him. But he has now made the finals of this GP with this red-black deck, a deck that you don't see very often. It looks like it's kind of interesting.
Basically, it's an Elementals deck, except he opened Profane Command. So he wasn't interested. Okay, Vapor Snag. Yeah, he pumps the Vapor Snag, puts it back. Basically, yeah, Lucas loves Elementals. He's been playing Elementals since they were a thing back in the Lorwyn block. This is just one of his favorite decks to play. Oh, wow, Mana Leak.
Oh, Mana Leak on the Lodestone Golem means that Lucas Duchow doesn't get to do anything for this turn. He has his main threat returned and then his best follow-up threat countered. And this is kind of what we've seen from Aaron Lewis. He's playing this tempo game, which you don't see that often. We haven't seen it much in Sealed and certainly not in Draft either. But cards like Tumble Magnet, Vapor Snag, Remand, Mana Leak, Get Ahead, Stay Ahead. It's a plan that's working for him, and he just needs one more match to become our champion.
Were these guys not listening to our narrative? The whole weekend we've been talking about pick a lane, stay in your lane, and these guys are just off-roading. Like black-red elementals, blue-white non-artifacts. That's what our finals comes down to.
All right, so the Changeling's going to get tapped down by the Tumble Magnet here on end step. Pass the turn back to Aaron Lewis. This is but one of a total of 4 Grand Prix tournaments that were ran this weekend. We're in Las Vegas, Nevada, where another one was ran right next to us, in fact, in the same building. There was also one in Chiba and in Utrecht, making this Magic weekend something very special, and winning one of these GPs is something that these players will never forget. Lucas plays his 6th land of the game. He's got tons of mana. He's actually just going to go for Spite Bellows on the Evoke here. Now, he could have cast it.
Yeah, but he wanted to get rid of the Archangel.
He wouldn't have killed the Archangel right away.
Tumble Magnet is eventually going to run out of counters, and that Changeling can hit pretty hard on this board. He can pump it 5 times.
The Smoke Braider able to activate the Ghostly Changeling because, of course, it is an elemental.
It's an everything.
Is this Arrest here? This is
on the Inner Flame Igniter.
And an attack here from Aaron Lewis.
Interesting. Wants all of Lucas's power to be in the one Changeling. Igniter would have made the Smoke Raiders into actual relevant attackers. Tumble Magnets out of counters. Smoke Raiders getting their beat on for 2.
Yeah, this is not a long-term game plan for Lucas Duchow, though. He's going to need a little more heat than that. I don't know if the Sickle Ripper is really going to get it done either, though it is certainly going to help stop Aaron Lewis from beating down. He can trade it for the Germ token if he wants.
Yeah, Sickle Slicer may just go into Gust Skimmer, though, which can go to the air.
That is the way to get the most damage through here in the turn, though it's a little bit clunky, and instead he's going to send Gust Skimmer to the air and have it attack, leaving the Sickle Slicer down and one card in hand. Lucas Duchow has to try to decide what that card might be here. Lucas trying to push damage through from the early parts of the game, but Aaron has done a much better job of it thanks to his tempo plays, the Vapor Snag, the Mana Leak, and the Tumble Magnet keeping things at bay here. And there's Ghostly Changeling taking down the Germ Token, so Aaron has to be content just chumping. Another Sickle Ripper, and then the last card in hand here for Duchow is just another Swamp. You see he's playing these lands from his hand so that he can maximize how many times he can pump Ghostly Changeling. And there's the equip and the fly.
Two-turn clock.
And it's 2 turns. Aaron Lewis finds himself at 15.
And has the arrest.
Wow.
I think he was set up to win that race anyway, but it was going to be close. Yeah, he would have run the race
big draw
anyway.
step, and it's a Swamp off the top for Duchow, so Aaron Lewis quickly takes game 1.
Wow.
He has that same expression on his face no matter what, but
Shuffling a little quicker.
got to be relieved to pick up that first game.
Yeah, you're not going to get the read off his face, but the
Now,
quick confident
both
shuffle.
of these players are now qualified
Oh, we will see them in Vancouver.
for Vancouver.
Yeah, it's been a lot of implications. We talked about it in the tournament itself has been awesome. The con vibe has been awesome. We've also had a lot of pro points handed out. I talked about in the semifinals Alexander Hayne with just the 1 pro point, but it turns out that's exactly what he needed to stay ahead of Pascal Maynard.
His good friend.
Yeah, no, Haynes got the 1 point lead for that world spot. I thought that world spot might actually change hands, but if Worlds was tomorrow, we did see one change in the potential 24-man roster. Kind of quietly, but Josh Utter-Layton picked up 3 pro points. He went 12-3, right? Showed up. He was in contention for a while, fell out with a couple rounds to go, but that 12-3, those 3 pro points, he had zeros on his Grand Prix resume. So those 3 go straight to the bottom line, and Andrew Cuneo is now on the wrong side of the bubble for Worlds. Looking in, Raptor.
Yeah, he's got a top
leapfrogged
25 at the Pro Tour coming anyway.
Yeah, Andrew puts up top 25 at the Pro Tour.
He's good
fine.
for it.
Andrew does have Platinum locked up, but at 44 pro points, he's now the last guy out. He and Steve Rubin actually tied on 44. Raptor got to 45 with those 3.
A lot of GPs between now and the Pro Tour. Of course, the Pro Tour adds a big mix to that as we wind down our season here for the pros.
Yeah, Paul Rietzel also picked up 3 points this weekend, which in his mind, he's now guaranteed to get to at least 52. He's got 49 right now. He's got a minimum of 3 in Vancouver. He thinks that's the line. He's got himself at about 80% to play Worlds now with these 3 pro points in his back pocket.
Okay, let's head to game 2 here. Lucas Duchow is going to mulligan here. He's on the play. Let's see if Aaron Lewis is going to keep his hand. He gives a pretty quick thumbs up. He knew he wanted to keep that. Yeah, this weekend has been really fantastic, Randy. It's been kind of a different look. You and I find ourselves at a lot of Grand Prix, and this one started on a Thursday. Now, not the actual GP tournament itself, but there were side events and a lot of festivities going on Thursday and Friday before we got started with the GP.
And may
on
have
Saturday.
shown up early to partake in some of those festivities.
Yeah, and I was doing some work. I was doing some interviews and some video work with our coverage team here, but I gotta say the vibe was so different on those first 2 days than the tournament. It was fantastic. It kind of felt like a convention of sorts, like where everybody's like-minded, even though there wasn't something specific happening until a couple of days from then. All right, a keep for Lucas Duchow on 6. He leads off with the mountain, ships a turn back to Aaron Lewis, who has an island and passes back to his opponent. No plays yet for either player, it looks like. And there's a Sunspear Shikari now for Aaron Lewis as we pass back the turn. A Ghostly Changeling now for Lucas Duchow.
3rd Grand Prix top 8 for Aaron Lewis. He's been
Properly, yeah, he has. He's got one in 2013, 2014, and now this year as well. So
yeah,
here's
like 3 years in a row.
Yeah, Sunspear. Yeah, it's his yearly top 8. So here he might be running them together here, though. He's been playing fantastic all weekend, and on top of that,
no blood.
He's going to be at the Pro Tour. And here is Water Servant. So finally, Lucas Duchow gets to untap with a blocker up, though it's already outclassed by the Water Servant.
Yeah.
And he's going to play 2 elementals here, Flamekin and an Igniter. Pass a turn back, and it's Cloud Elemental for Lewis. So Lewis is going to be able to start beating down again, but I wonder if Duchow can find a way to start pushing damage through here. You can hear Lucas running the numbers. is his land for the turn. And it doesn't look like he's found an attack here, so he's just going to pass the turn back.
It's hard to attack through.
That is true, yeah. And Aaron Lewis finds his 6th mana here. He's got an Aether Snipe if he wants to snap that thing off. Cloud Elemental's going to get in for 2. And there it is, Aether Snipe. He's just going to go ahead and return the Gorehorn Minotaurs here. So Aaron Lewis continues his tempo ways here, getting in with an evasive threat, keeping Lucas Duchow off balance with Arrest, now with an Aether Snipe.
It's actually mildly scary to put the Bloodthirst creature in his hand, right?
It is a little bit, though.
Come up with a random point of damage. It can come down 5/5.
And, you know, he actually can here.
He's got Gut Shot in his hand,
He's got
right?
a Gut Shot in his hand. Yeah, he brought that in for the Gust Skimmers, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I might have bounced Igniter there.
It is an interesting thing. I mean, I think that Aaron felt pretty confident that he wasn't going to get attacked.
Right.
And I
It's
think
Gut
he
Shot,
felt
though.
confident that Lucas wouldn't want to throw a burn spell at his face, but it's just Gut Shot.
Right,
There's no
right.
good target for it anyway, so he may as well. You know, if that was a Burst Lightning or a Lightning Bolt, I think Aaron would be fine if he fired it off just to get a bigger Gorehorn Minotaur. In many ways, that plays into Aaron Lewis's game plan of, you know, tumble magnets and arrests and stuff anyway.
Wow, Water Serpent getting its attack on now.
And Water Servant looks like it's going to line up to trade with the Minotaur, and Aaron's fine with that. Again, that was a card out of hand, that Gut Shot. That's basically a 2-for-1 for Aaron Lewis, so he's got to be happy with that. There's a Kami of Ancient Law, though he doesn't really have a great target for it.
Yeah, 2/2 is fine on this board, though.
Totally.
Well, Lucas has a 2/2 and a 2/1. That body's perfectly serviceable.
And he's going to pass the turn back. It looks like Lucas has drawn plenty of land. So has Aaron. They're both on 7 right now. Aaron Lewis draws his card for the turn and surveys the scene. It looks pretty from his perspective. He's got Cloud Elemental that can get through regardless, and he's got bigger creatures that can attack as well. He's actually not going to offer any trades here, though. And Fiery Fall is going to be the play for Lucas Duchow to take down the Cloud Elemental. So we have now equaled out. So, you know, Aaron Lewis recognizing, of course, that the Inner Flame Igniter can start getting pumped up multiple times here. I think he's kind of got tons of mana going now.
Aaron plays Sickle Slicer and promptly puts it onto the Sunspirit Shikari. Now he's got a first striking attacker. Lucas is in Chump Block mode. Seems to be. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3. Trample, trample, trample. Now it's 8 mana. 9 mana. He can pump 3 times.
Right. This was the problem that Aaron Lewis faced last time, is that with 7 mana, he can use these 2 creatures in conjunction with each other to pump the squad and eventually get up to 9 mana where he can give his creatures first strike until end of turn 2. It's kind of crazy. He uses the Soulbright Flamekin to create the 8 mana after pumping 6 into it. That nets him 2. He has 1 extra mana floating. He can use those 9 mana then to use the Igniter to pump his team +3/+0, and then also give them first strike, given that it's the 3rd activation. So that was holding down the ground pretty well. All right, but no longer, as it's just the Igniter that's left, and it's going to have to trade off and crunch. Lucas Duchow takes 6 damage here, and this one could be over quickly. No, it's a Spite Bellows, but he's going to play this one face up. No Evoke. Pretty easy to play here for Lewis. He does get his, Lucas does get his Ghostly Changeling in the graveyard here, where it might be of more use, but whoa, here's Mole Drifter. That's going to draw him 2 cards and give him a seriously nice threat here. He's got a follow-up play too, Spectral Procession.
You often do when you resolve a Mole Drifter.
This gives him 7 power, so he is so close to winning
all
here.
In the air, too.
Yes.
Mole Drifter, first pick of the draft. That's where it all started. He went pick 1 Mole Drifter, pick 2 Mirran Crusader.
And this could be it here.
Yeah, and he was just blue-white good stuff from there.
Yeah, he's going to equip up the Mole Drifter here, attack for 7. Oh, but at the top deck off the top for Lucas Duchow wasn't too bad. It was Smash to Smithereens.
Still.
I don't think it's going to get him out of this mess. He still takes 5. And he's going to need something pretty special off the top, or we are going to have our champion. And that's going to do it. Lucas throws the mountain on the table, and Aaron Lewis is our champion. Applause from across the floor here. And he finally lets out a little bit of a smile there. He's got that lucky kiss on his cheek. And congratulations, Aaron Lewis. You are our champion. What a long way coming. The wheels almost fell off at the end of Swiss. He got it together, drafted a great deck, played it well,
anyway. You never know.
and ended up winning the tournament here. Also, congratulations to Lucas Duchow, an amazing finish, runner-up here at the tournament. And you can see he's going to get his finalist plaque there as he fills out the final paperwork for him. We'll see him in Vancouver. So back on the Pro Tour here for Lucas Duchow as well. Take a look